Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Tyvis Powell, Jason Lloyd. Plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Well, we back at it again.
Look at this, man.
Jason Lloyd is in the building. Tyvis is in the building. Adam the Bull is on hiatus. You know, we're in for him. But Jason, man, it's looking bad, bro. Give us the house update.
Still got a tree on my house. Still no power. It said it's going to be a week before we get power restored. I'm not even sure it's going to be that. I am keeping a good attitude about it. But the messed up thing is, like, people over there have power. People over there have power. And they just drive by and go like that.
That's the most disgusting part. They over there just living their life. They living their best life. Air conditioning.
Just eating breakfast in the air conditioning,
just
taking hot
out.
showers.
Kids, they walking their kids to the bus stop. They ain't never did that before in their life. They just feeling great about it.
I took the coldest shower of my life today. Man. The coldest shower of my life.
You did that.
But so this is really funny though. So I got the generator going, right? Mm-hmm. And like I'm just handy enough like to get by in terms of like tools and stuff. Like I'm mildly handy. Small engine repair, I'm an idiot. I know nothing about this stuff. Like, you could tell me, point to the carburetor, and I'll point to the dipstick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know anything about this stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So I'm thinking, like, man, I've been running this generator a long time. I should probably check and see if the oil's okay, because I had to pour all the oil in. So I took the cap off while it was running, and the oil was like, it's like, there's oil on my face, there's oil on my arm, oil on the driveway, oil on the house. I'm like trying to get the cap back on.
You didn't think to cut it off?
Like in the car, you can pull the dipstick out and it's running, and it doesn't do anything.
I wouldn't have thought, like, you know, they tell
What
you.
do you mean you wouldn't have thought? What's wrong with y'all two?
I feel like you could just open that up.
Yeah, I was just checking.
Look.
You better be glad the cap ain't exploding in your face when you did that. What's wrong with y'all?
I know you can't do that to a overheating radiator, like, and pull the cap off, because it'll, like, you know, but I didn't know oil was a thing like that when you had to.
Well, it came shooting out, man. There was like black smoke and oil spraying out of that thing, and I was like, hurry, get the cap back on.
So was it good? It didn't overheat or nothing?
No, I don't know. It's still running.
To his knowledge.
So I don't know how generator, what's the generator game talk about? How does that really work? Do you hook that up to like a...
So I have a plug in my house right now. Mm-hmm. Well, so it runs on gas.
Yeah.
Pour the gas in, turn it, crank it, pull the string, and then it's got 4 outlets on it. So I've got a plug for the refrigerator. We got 2 refrigerators and the sump pump, so that's 3. Mm-hmm. And then we have a 4th for like to charge phones, or like turn on the hot water kettle, like to heat up hot water, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So like you want toast, unplug the refrigerator, plug in the toaster, use the toaster.
Ooh.
Take the toaster out.
Hair dryer?
Hair dryer has to unplug the refrigerator, plug in the hair dryer. You want to use air fryer, unplug the refrigerator, plug in the air fryer.
And do you have like you have gas or electric like stove?
Gas.
Okay.
But you can use like the old, it's an electric start, but you can take like the barbecue fire stick and start it.
Like the pilot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all right. Well,
we can use the microwave, we can use all that, but it's literally on one plug.
Jason is learning what it's like to grow up poor, and you can't pay the electric bill. So you gotta throw your neighbor some money and throw an extension cord and run it through the house to house.
I ain't never heard that.
You pay your neighbor. Look, I got $100 for you. Just plug this extension cord in. Boom, plug it in.
How much is the electric bill, Tyvis?
Listen, electric bills used to be expensive back then.
They used to.
Then I had to do the thing where you gotta. Well, we ain't had no heat, so I had to take some water, put it in like a little bowl, warm it up in the microwave, put it in your sink, and then like splash it, and then like wash up like that.
Yeah, or
I wasn't taking a cold shower.
Our gas went out one time, and we had an electric stove, so we just cranked the stove on 400, let the door open.
Oh man!
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it worked out very well. Like, but yeah, there's the amenities, like I always tell people, like I be watching post-apocalyptic type things. People be running around here real secure. Let that power go out for 2 weeks.
That's right.
Yeah, the power. Let the Wi-Fi go off. Oh my God!
Check back with me. I'm gonna show up, Steve. I'm sorry. I'm showing up to the show in a robe and slippers. If I got no power for a week, I'm coming in with like a toothbrush hanging out.
My God.
Robe and slippers.
And you don't even be knowing. You be like, all right, let me go click. And you be feeling dumb because you be wanting to click something. You be like, dang it. That wouldn't play.
Every room I walk in, I flip the light switch. Still, like a total idiot. Just flip the light switch. Like,
y'all should be walking around with flashlights.
Well, we do. We got flashlights and all that. But shout out to all of the workers, the line workers, man.
Yeah.
Y'all are working 16, 18 hours a day.
Man.
And you're going home to a hot, stuffy house, too. So appreciate all the work you're doing.
Crazy.
And now if you could work a little bit faster. And if you could come over to Avon Lake a little bit quicker, maybe I'll get you some Browns tickets.
DM me, throw your email out there, DM him if you want to get, you know what I'm saying, jump that line.
I am not above bribing utility workers for electricity.
I'll get you some Brown. I tell you what, Jason, if I come up to the press box and I see you in there, you got some random guy with you, I'm going to be like, wow, I know who this is.
This is Pete. He turned the power back on.
This is my man's Pete. This is Pete. McNuggets, man. What you got today, bro?
Hey, we got a big show on tap, and it starts with a big announcement from the Browns, who released a video yesterday that got a lot of people excited. And in case you missed it, we're going to show it to you in 1 second after a quick word from FanDuel, because you guys know FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and they are sponsoring today's show as they always do. You know I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop, but as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer and fewer games, and the sports just aren't sportsing like I want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open up the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone every day all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball and the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. And I have to imagine, guys, that this new Browns Dome Stadium, which we got the renderings of yesterday, will have some sort of sports book attached to it in some capacity. You know FanDuel will be there front and foremost on the minds of the Browns. And in case you missed it, this is the video we were alluding to yesterday. The Browns officially released renderings signaling what we learned earlier in the week, that Brook Park is their new stadium destination. Although Jimmy Haslam said, we're still not 100% sure. When you put this much effort into putting renderings together, it all but seals your fate. And in case you missed it, here it is. It's about 3 minutes long from the Browns on what their new potential facility/development in Brook Park could look like. So Tyvis, G, and Jason, what are your initial thoughts on that 2.5-minute video of the new renderings for what could be the Browns' future home in Brook Park?
My initial thought was Mayor Bibb wanted a response within 10 days of the city's proposal. There's your response.
Boom.
That was their response.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's a mic drop, too. It's not just a response. It's a big-ass mic drop.
You want us to consider your little piddly offer on the lake? Here's our response to that. Like we have said this for months. This is happening. If they can figure out the funding, this is going to happen, and every step just leads further and further down that path.
Man, Tyvis, my thoughts is like, when you offer up anything, 80% of the public or 80% of people will look at the valid reasons, look at all the things considered, look at the circumstances and make a wise choice, right? Mm-hmm. The other 15% will look at it and try to be smarter than people and be like, well, let me give you both sides of the argument. Well, yeah, that's nice, but we don't want to bring this down here. What about the downtown area? What about all this other stuff? What about tradition? And they'll probably try to make a argument as to why this thing has some good points and some bad points. And then there's 5% of the population that just like to see the world burn. They're contrarians. If you tell them the world is blue, sky is blue, they'll say it's pink. If they say the world is round, they'll say it's flat. They don't care. They just want to be smarter than everybody and think that they're going to throw the opposite out. If you are hating on this vision, and if it turns out to be what the rendering is, and that you still have to deliver on that, how could you hate on that? There's nothing to hate on here. It's okay, let me get this and let's keep pushing.
I look at it from a standpoint of there's absolutely no if that's what it's gonna look like,
it's a wrap.
It's a done deal. Like this is like Watch the Throne just drop. Like it's done. Like don't even drop nothing else. We don't need to see nothing else. I don't need to hear nothing about the stadium downtown no more. Like it's over. It's done. And for anybody that's against the fact that, all right, the Browns is going to be out, think about it's concerts that's going to be there. So now all you Swifties, she might actually come to Cleveland to do the concert. She got a place to go do the concert and all of those things. So I think it serves as so many different purposes, and it's so many things that can come from that stadium being built like that I think that it's the perfect thing. So when I seen that, I was fired up. I was thinking to myself, how can I stay on the Browns radio network for 5 more years so I can see this?
Just simply work for free. No. Simply.
That was my first thought. I saw that and I said, I got to stay with the Browns radio network for at least 5 more years.
This boy right here, man, Jason, this look like you got all kind. What's all this other stuff around them? Is this them as proposed buildings they got?
It looked like Pinecrest. Y'all been to Pinecrest? Mm-mm. Y'all ain't never been to Pinecrest on the beach by Beechwood?
Oh yeah, I know where that's at.
Yeah, it looked like that.
The pushback, G, is the public money that's being used. Like if Jimmy wanted to write the check and build the whole thing himself, and he wanted to do that, hey buddy, more power to you. That's great, do it. But when you're talking about the public dollars, and my only issue with it is the fact that they're going to do this without letting the people vote on it. I think that's wrong. Mm-hmm. But this is the trend, and I started looking at it a little bit more last night. Like this is what they did in Tennessee. This is what they did in Buffalo. We talked about Buffalo the other day. Well, it's what they did in Tennessee too. The state is turning over all of this money to these teams now. It's not even just the county and city. It's the state that's doing it. And when you look at the number of facilities in Ohio compared to Tennessee, compared to New York, there's so many more in Ohio that I'm curious to see where this is all going. And I don't know that we have all the answers to it. But when the state is handing over hundreds of millions of dollars to build these things, it's weird to me. It's just, and it's strange that in this same city, I have people from the Guardians tell me about the poverty rate in Cleveland, and they use that as like, look at where we're at, look at what we're dealing with here in our market and trying to attract people when you look at the poverty rate in Cleveland, and then we can play that video. And it's the same city, and it's 2 teams in the same town. I'm not trying to poo-poo it. I just can't wrap my head around that this is all the same spot. Like, this is all the same city. And there are a lot of issues in Cleveland, and you can find better use for money than building a stadium. I agree with that. But yet also, I want the dome. Like, two things can be true. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm really curious to see the public financing, how this is going to look, the plan that that's really, I care about that more than I care about, you can make anything look good in a video. They're going to make everything look good. I want to see the dollars. Where's the money coming from? Where's the public money coming from? Who's putting up what? How's this going to be repaid? That's the part. And I don't want to be like the wet blanket on the whole thing, because I do want the dome. I've been to the dome in Minnesota. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
And Zach Jackson, have you been there?
I played.
Oh, you did? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. So Zach Jackson,
been out the game that long.
Yeah. Well, so we walked in there and looked around. And we're like, oh yeah, this is it. Like Minnesota might have. SoFi is probably the number one in the league. I haven't been to Vegas.
I haven't been.
Vegas?
No.
So I haven't. I've been to SoFi. SoFi is probably number one. Minnesota's top 3 in the league, top 3 or 5. It is unbelievable, and I would love to have that in Cleveland. I'm just saying, let's do it responsibly.
Yeah,
that's all.
I agree with that. To me, and this is a great thing, because you can talk, because this is strictly political, by the way. When you talk about the stadium and how you going to do with the funds and how you going to get it. My thing is this: back in the day, there used to be a program where it was called JTPA, Job Training Partnership, right? And what it did is gave all kids in the city of Canton an opportunity to go fill out applications and get jobs at different places, right? Under the age of 16. So what they found is that crime went down, child poverty or child hunger programs went down, because kids actually had money in their pocket. They had money for school clothes. They had money to go spend things. They had money to help their parents out, because everyone had jobs. And they would match you wherever you went. Whether it was, was doing recreation stuff, whether it was watching children, whether it was just doing cutting grass or whatever, or working in city buildings. However, the funding for that got cut somewhere around the, mid to late 90s, right? And so they found that a lot of times those kids ended up back on the streets. And one of the things that I always go to is, there's a lot of times when we want to build things like this, but the excuse is, well, what could we do with what other money could we use to spend on things like kids or programs like that? And we come up with the ideas, and yes, we could spend them on that. But then my thing to the politicians is, well, you ain't been doing that anyway.
Right. That's fair.
That money that you was going to allocate, or you say you can allocate for other things like poverty or homeless or lower reading rates in public schools or books. You guys don't do that when we don't have the stadium, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have the Brown Stadium at the lakefront since '99. You guys didn't say, well, let's allocate this money to books. No, you didn't do any of that. So now when they want money to do the stadium, it's like, well, we can find another better way to spend the money. That is true. But I've always learned it with politicians. They're going to do the least. They're not going to give you that. They're going to find a way to do the least. They'll find a way to give people tax breaks. They'll give tax cuts to the really wealthy or give subsidies. The reality of the situation is they're going to come with that stadium. They're going to get that stadium. They're going to get that money for that stadium. Oh, yeah. They sound like Denzel Washington. Hey,
I'm going to get that money.
I'm going to get that money. I need that money.
Jake, I need that money.
And by the way, Jimmy is putting up quite a big stake in this.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
He's putting up a lot of money. But again, there is still the public component to it. So my thing is just let the people who are using it build it. So if you find a way to tax the sports gambling, that's what I've been pushing.
Yeah.
Just add more taxes to that. It's already taxed heavily.
Yeah.
Just find a lobbyist and add more tax to it. It's not.
That's easy.
Do that, the electronic poll tabs all the stuff we talked about before, the marijuana that they tried to sort out the tax on that. No one could figure out the tax. Not that marijuana use goes directly to the stadium, but find avenues of people who are using the stadium and admissions tax on the tickets. If you're getting, we keep talking about the price of this thing, add a $3 tax or $4 tax on every ticket sold, fine. At least the people who are using it are the ones that are building it.
Do you think it was smart for them to circumvent the city or the vote?
Well, it wasn't going to pass.
Right.
So, and they know it wasn't going to pass. All these referendums in these cities are getting voted down.
Yeah.
Anyone who takes it to the ballot for these things, they're getting shot down. So the ones that don't have to take it to the ballot are pulling an end around, and they're getting the money from bonds and from the state and from everything else. So Yeah, it was. I want the people to have a vote, but at the same time, I know and they know how they would have voted, which is why it's not going to the ballot.
Right. That's crazy. McNuggets.
The money's a whole separate issue that we'll dive into another time. But based off what we saw from these renderings and these pictures yesterday, just based off this video, and to Jason's point, every rendering is going to look incredible. Like, there's no expense that you have to spare in a rendering video. And Steve, if you want to play the video again, might as well play it to let people see it one more time. The facility that they are proposing to build in Brook Park is incredible. It is
crazy.
everything you could hope for and dream for if you're a Browns fan.
I see they
in one spot, in one facility with the stadium. I'm not sure if you guys noticed this. The dog pound, an entire level, uninterrupted by the concourses. When they get to it, you can see the pictures again. It would be from the field level to the upper deck of quote-unquote dog pound fans. This is everything you could have hoped and dreamed for if the Haslams and whoever else were going to spend the money to build a palace in Brook Park. This is it. And they hit it exactly. They hit the nail exactly on the head.
That glass
what you
roof?
could have wanted from a purely fan perspective. It's brilliant. I think it damn looks near close to perfect. Obviously, we don't know what the shops and the development around it will look like, but the only thing you have to make sure you incorporate back in is somehow finding a way to pay homage to the Muni lot in this new stadium facility development. There has to be some sort of component of that diehard, lifelong Browns fandom and the tailgating tradition from the Muni lot that makes its way over from downtown to Brook Park.
And I'm going to tell you what. For me, I looked at it and it was like, we finally have something nice.
That's the point. That
We
was the
finally got something nice. Like, Tyvis, it's like when you growing up, man, and it's something to be prideful. Like, we like gym shoes, and it's like when you told no, you can't have them when you're young, and then you got an opportunity to get a little money,
buy all of them.
and you get everyone that you
Buy all of them.
and you still feel that happiness inside. Like, I finally got something nice, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you done worked your whole life for something. And right now, the Cleveland Browns got a state-of-the-art building where now everybody comes back and talks about how beautiful it is. Go back to when Jacobs Field came out. I was just living off them compliments for years. Remember how everybody was like,
First time you walked in there, you're like, is this Cleveland?
this cannot be. Like, I said, wow, this is, I would just watch it on TV and look at the camera angles. I'm like, man, they got something in center field you can see out there.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I feel when I see it. Like, you know they're going to want to come for Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. You know people are going to come out of town.
You know the
and
Super Bowl is going to go there.
You know what
The Final Four, concerts, the Super Bowl, all the other things that you can't have at the current downtown location, you could have at this rendering of what we hope turns into the reality of the new Brook Park Dome.
McNuggets' condo is around the corner. He got a new condo with him and Miss McNuggets
I can't afford that condo. That's going to be that $3,000 for a one-bedroom studio.
Like, you can just walk down to the game. Like, that's the type of atmosphere. Look at that glass ceiling. Look at that glass ceiling and it's slanted and everything. Cathedral glass.
The glass ceiling makes it interesting because, like, it still brings that element. Like, when it's snow, you can still look up and see, like, the snow on the that. Like, that'd be all right.
It's coming out snowing. And
you're warm while you're looking at
And you just look at that snow like, yeah, thank you. You're going to be sitting there looking up like, man, this is a beautiful idea. Get this dome.
T-shirts and flip-flops.
and the beautiful part about this, I don't know what the trend, because I'm all into, when you talk about these stadiums, the infrastructure has to be there for getting people there, whether it's the highway system is built a certain way, whether it's the subway system. The beautiful part is that if they can make this thing where you, for the most part, can get to that stadium and you don't have to be in the elements, like through a subway or transit system that's connected in a hub, bro, sign me up.
Well, I mean, I believe, RTA still runs the airport. So you can take RTA to the airport, and then if you can connect somehow the airport to Brook Park, which is not that far.
Yeah.
It's like a 15. No, that ain't even that. Or is it 15? No.
To the Ford plant from the airport?
Yeah, that's not even 15 minutes.
No,
yeah,
no.
it's like it's like.
And we don't, and not that I know, I don't think Cleveland has a subway system.
Just RTA.
Just
the
RTA.
RTA.
Auntie Rita.
So look, you can connect that where I can leave my hotel and go underground and walk in my shorts and flip flops and come up in the dome.
Man,
Stop.
that's how Minnesota like that. They connected to the hotel.
Indiana did, or Indianapolis.
Indianapolis is like
You
that
ain't
too.
even gotta leave.
You ain't even gotta go into the elements.
Yeah.
You ain't even gotta step outside. You
Yeah,
can go
that's-
right from your hotel right to your seat in the game.
Those two cities, more than any other, I don't think I'm leaving any others out, have done a terrific job of connecting downtown. Obviously, this is different.
Yeah.
This is a suburb, and you're talking about just trying to get from the airport there. And they are going to have to come up with more access points. It is like the highways are right there. They're right there. And 237 is right there. They can probably expand that. But they have to come up with more exits. All that can be worked out. All that. But it's a lot more accessible than the lakefront on where it currently is now. Like Route 2 runs through there, but this one, there's just a lot more access points, a lot more ways. You can actually get there from all four sides.
Yeah.
Whereas Cleveland Browns Stadium, it's three sides, and really, I don't even know if it's that. It's really two. So.
I mentioned the elevated full story dog pound that was in the rendering. Steve, take the picture full real quick. You can see in the back end zone, you see the two levels that go directly from field up to, that's a Jumbotron or whatever. Tyvis, can you think of another stadium in the league that has some sort of section like that? Or would that be something unique and new to what this proposed dome would look like?
Not off the top of my head, I can think of something like that. That's
Jason,
more.
I'm not
That
sure
looks
if
more
you guys
like a
can.
college type thing, where the student section looks something like that.
Like they end zone reminds me of kind of like the horseshoe a little bit. Don't
Yeah,
it?
that's
Like-
what it looked like.
Yeah, like-
it's like that section. It's like
Yeah.
the student section.
And then them towers is right over to the right hand side.
Well, I believe the same architecture firm that did SoFi and Minnesota is the one that is doing this one.
That is
think.
correct, Jason. HGK.
So
Construction.
SoFi got something.
Well, they're
like that?
rich.
Sofi is.
You never been to SoFi, right?
Yeah.
You
Man,
have?
yeah.
See,
Yeah.
it wasn't,
I-
it wasn't done yet. I still playing at the Coliseum.
I did SoFi because the Browns played the Chargers there a couple years ago. I was out there for that.
Must be nice.
That crazy, the Baker Herbert game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember
they
that-
both.
that game?
Yeah.
So-
Mike
so-
Mike Williams went crazy.
So,
that
and,
game.
so SoFi, I think, is the best in the league. I haven't seen the Raiders yet. Minneapolis.
Are you
is up
going
there.
to the Vegas game this year?
What do you think? It's in Vegas.
It's from Vegas.
He'll be there.
I'm
He
going.
got a whole. They warming his personal speed up now.
He'll be there.
Mr. Lloyd, your complimentary chips and bottles.
So LA and Minneapolis. What am I missing? What are the other top ones? Atlanta's okay. Atlanta's nice.
Atlanta's new. I'm not sure how great it's been.
I like the way that the top opens and closes is cool, but I wasn't totally blown away by Atlanta.
Really?
No, not like I was Minnesota.
crazy.
No way.
Now, our colleague Adam the Bull was a little upset because it wasn't retractable. Is anybody salty about the fact that you can't have open games?
No.
Or,
In a perfect world, sure. Yeah, I will. And maybe you say, like, when you're at where you're at, what's another $300 million
Right.
on top of
My thing is that the reason I'm cool with it not being retractable because if it's a glass ceiling, like it's still like you still get the
You
sun.
feel like you kinda outside?
Yeah, like that. Like it's like Minnesota. Like they don't need to really open it because like the sun is peaking right now.
It is wild how light it is.
Yeah,
in
it's
Minnesota.
it's bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they was playing games, it'd be shadows in there. I'm like, dang, what's going on? Like, this is crazy, man.
I haven't seen Dallas. I haven't seen Jerry's World. Have you been to Dallas?
I've been at
What's
Jerry's World
wrong
a
with
few times.
you?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, all right, you have.
Not only did hello, where you think that was at?
That was the first
Yes,
time.
all right. I say dumb things sometimes.
And I played for Dallas in the preseason. Yes, I've been to Jerry's
So
World.
how's Jerry's compared to
Jerry's?
Minneapolis?
Oh, the big thing about Jerry's World, like his like down at the below, like he got like little clubs and stuff. It's actually pretty cool. And then they like come
Those have
out-
to be the worst seats in America, though.
the club seats that's down at the
That's
bottom.
down
See,
below
I wouldn't know because I was on the field. So
Well, I've covered
really
games
know.
there, but you looking and you're sitting underground, your head level is like waist level for all the players standing on the sideline.
That is
How
true.
you can see the game,
That
I
is
have
true.
no idea.
I
Very
think
no idea.
I think it's badass the way they be coming through the stadium Like,
Oh, you talking about the Dallas?
The players.
That
Yeah,
is
it's cold. Yeah.
I say, yo, that's crazy.
But the biggest thing about them is the Jumbotron. That's the biggest thing for them.
and that's another thing. I wonder how long this Jumbotron gonna be. I need to be in the mix with this.
We talking about for the Browns?
Yeah.
You want them to have a big Jumbotron? See, the big Jumbotron, the problem with that is you catch yourself too busy looking at that than looking at the actual game.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hey, G. Bush, Director Steve just made a great point. If it is a glass roof, it's probably not strong enough to support a massive Jumbotron from the sky.
You're
That's
right.
very true. I
see their Jumbotron is kind of in the end zone a
It's
little
in the
bit.
end zone behind
That's
the
how Minneapolis
arena as
is.
opposed to hanging
Yeah,
down over
yeah,
top.
yeah.
That's how Minneapolis is. Minneapolis
Okay.
is the end zone. SoFi has that like ring in the middle. That's really cool.
I haven't been, so I couldn't.
Best
tell
part
you.
about it, I do like the roof. I like the dog. It all depends on what they do with the dog pound. I want to see how loud that place can get, because
That's a big part of it.
Is there any stadium that like you've
That's a
been
dome
in that's
Minnesota.
loud? Minnesota's like crazy.
When they
man.
get to doing that,
Yeah, the skull.
that loud as heck, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. You be like, you can't let them make no plays and start that, because once they start that, it's done. You can't hear nothing.
Well, at least you came. No, I became a fan.
Skull!
I became a fan on fans banging on like some old plexi, old tinfoil at the
Listen,
Browns.
I'm about
But
to
this
say,
dude-
the way they was there for that Thursday night game against the Jets, you bring that energy to a dome, it's gonna be loud.
Man, that's crazy. Well, now that's the home field advantage I want. Not it being 12 degrees and both teams got their hands in their pants.
I still don't understand why people talk about that like that. Like, with I like the blizzard. No, you don't. You don't want to go to the
No,
game
that's
and
insane.
watch them run the ball 80 times a piece and throw the ball 2 times. No, you don't want to see that. Like, you really don't. Like, you want to see your quarterbacks go out there and have a chance to throw the ball for 300 yards. You want to see these deep balls still being thrown. You want to enjoy it and be comfortable while you don't have to sit there with a blanket on and be like, man, run the ball and let's get out of here. Like, you don't want both, because that's what's going to be on the mind of the players, the coaches, and everybody that's in the building. You want to go there. You want to pay your money, go there and enjoy your time there and see a great product on the field. So stop it. No player want to do it, no coach want to do it, and no fan really want to do it. Y'all need to cut the cap with that. And y'all make me mad when y'all say, I want to be out there in the cold and the Ellis. No, you don't.
Most of
No,
the
you
people
don't.
saying that first time they go inside watch a game, they're like, yeah, this ain't so bad after all.
Most people saying that are the people that's at the house watching the game to begin with.
Yeah, because there ain't nobody at those games.
My point exactly.
Oh, I went to that Saints game.
And you'll never do it again.
Never do it again. That was
See?
insane. That was
Last
totally
point
insane.
on the stadium, guys. We'll move on to our next topic. But in their letter to Cleveland Browns fans yesterday, Jimmy Haslam said, we haven't completely, fully committed to Brook Park. And they declined to offer up renderings for a renovated downtown stadium. In your mind, Jason, does that mean that they really are giving no credence to renovating downtown?
I didn't even hear what you said.
Technically, they got 4 more days to answer it.
They just answered.
I'm just saying.
They
that.
just answered.
They gotta put a
They just
statement.
delivered their answer.
They gotta put a statement together in 4 days.
Look, the city basically said, here's everything you want. And they said, how about this video we just created? The city said, hey, we're going to give you parking on game days. That's what you really wanted. We're going to turn over all the parking to you. We're going to give you all this money. We're going to give you everything you wanted. And the Haslam's response was, look at this video that we spent the last month creating. Take a look at this video.
I wish I would have went and looked at like the comments under there. I wonder if there's any negative comments. I mean, I'm sure it is because it's
There's
Twitter.
negative comments and everything.
Exactly, but I just want to see like ratio wise. Like,
9 to 1 probably.
and when you like,
I have the answer to that real quick, Jason. We put up a poll in our chat. Thoughts on the first renderings of the new Brown Stadium? I gave people 4 options. I love it. I like it. I'm on it. And then I'm against it.
Uh-huh.
How much you think said I love it?
60 to 70%.
G?
well, I just threw out a ratio. I'm gonna have to stick to it. 80.
Ty?
72.
74%. This is over 500
Ooh, I was
votes, by the way.
close.
74% said they love it. Guess how many said they like it?
That's them.
16.
That's that 15%. Go ahead.
You got it perfect. So 90% like or love, 10% or against it.
Yeah.
Is the final poll result. So 9-1, as you guys mentioned, pro at minimum 9-1.
And like, look, I'm with you. That wasn't that rebuttal they gave. Come on now. That little $400 million, they paid Deshaun Watson that.
But that's roughly what the team said they would need from the city to redo it. And the city said, okay. And the Browns said,
Nah, come on, bro. We wasn't really interested. You didn't get the memo. We were just playing. You were supposed to just wink, wink, nod, nod. Come on, bro. Then they rolled this out. Come on, let's renovate that old dusty stadium.
Is there
I just want to know, what do they do with it? Like, what?
Blow it up.
Knock it down. I just thought of this. I'll say it anyway. When Manny Ramirez was leaving to go to Boston,
Oh, man.
the Indians made a last-ditch effort
I remember.
that they knew he wasn't going to take,
Right.
but they could say, hey, we tried. Is this the city's Manny Ramirez saying, we know they're going to Brook Park, but we can't have it look like we didn't try,
Right,
so
on
we're
my
going to
watch.
throw this offer out knowing, hey, man, we tried. But everybody has known this was if they could figure out the funding, it was always going to end this way. It was never a debate.
This is Jimmy Haslam we're talking about. He feels like I'm in the same category as Jerry Jones. Stop playing with me. I need my money. Go ahead, McNuggets.
Well, when you guys want to buy tickets for the Browns' first game at their new Brook Park Dome in 2029, you better be using GameTime to purchase those tickets, because GameTime is an authorized ticket marketplace of not only Major League Baseball, but the National Football League as well. And GameTime makes getting tickets faster and easier. Plus, the prices on the GameTime app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. GameTime takes the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball and NFL tickets. So download the GameTime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download GameTime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. So, guys, the Browns have had a plethora of minor, but certainly noteworthy injuries to the defensive line already this offseason. We saw Zadarius Smith get carted off with a leg contusion. We saw Quentin Jefferson miss a little time. Myles Garrett only started practicing recently, which got me thinking. Outside of the quarterback position, so obviously take Deshaun, Jameis, DTR Huntley out of the equation. You can't say quarterback. What position group on the Browns can they least afford to get hit with the injury bug this season? Tyvis, you want to start us off?
Offensive line. I don't care what nobody say. Listen, I know last year they had they went through 3 tackles last year, and they still made it work. Well, the good news is you had one of the best, if not the best, offensive line coach in the game, and he was able to get things done. But at the end of the day, when you had to have it, when things needed to happen in the playoffs, it was a different ball game. That offensive line wasn't that great. You know, they were still getting pressure there, and Joe Flacco just didn't show up. So for me, it's particularly that left tackle, especially when you got a quarterback that's coming off of an injury already. You know, that part really bothers me. So for me, offensive line, if they take some hits at the tackle position mainly, like Jed Wills. I heard y'all talking to Mary Kay yesterday. Jed Wills might not even play in the first game. You got James Hudson starting. You know, if DeJuan Jones go down again and Jack Conklin still hasn't practiced, like you automatically right now you down to your, 4th and 5th string tackles already to start the year. So for me, that makes me very nervous. Offensive line, particularly tackles.
See, there's a couple ways to look at this. I agree with you in terms of at the different spots. It depends on who it is, right? But across the offensive line, if it's any of them, you're already getting cut thin into your depth. Mm-hmm. For me, I was thinking receiver, just because if it's Amari Cooper, you're screwed. Like if Amari Cooper goes down with a hamstring injury, the rest of that receiving room to me looks a whole lot different and not for the better. So I looked at it from the top for this exercise. If you lose the top guy and everyone else has to slide up a spot, I don't feel confident. I mean, sure, Cedric Tillman has potential. Fine, sure.
They talking about him having a breakout
Yeah, well, they
year.
talked about Elijah Moore that way last year. We saw how that turned out.
You're right. That's why they're not talking about him this year because it's gonna happen.
You just said they were.
No. I said
Elijah.
Cedric Tillman.
Oh, I got you.
Now, Elijah, listen, don't even. I done seen a couple clips. Stop putting clips of Elijah Moore on Brown's Twitter. Like, let him. If he make a good play, yay. We don't need to see it because we need to see it this on Sundays in the fall. That's when it's gonna happen. He gonna make me look good this year. You owe that to me. You owe me. It is what it is.
I just think if Amari goes down, there's a lot of questions about that receiver room.
You know what's crazy? I would have picked Josh too, and I don't got a problem with it because I do think Jay Wills in these tackles. I don't know Amari Cooper if he goes down, and you just got Jerry Jeudy. But for me, what if Denzel Ward go down? Like, I know it's the Browns defense.
They'll slide G. New out there, and then Cam Mitchell will be playing as
Greg
nickel.
Newsome not playing right now. So
He is out, ain't he?
Yeah.
What's going on with y'all?
Like it's hard. I get it. It's hard.
Everybody wanted to skip Cam.
But Greg Newsome not playing, and you go from one of your strengths is position to weakness when you have Denzel Ward. Now you talking about you got Martin Emerson and Cam Mitchell and somebody else.
Why I gotta be Denzel go down?
Denzel gonna miss 5 games anyway.
Hey.
It's just about what 5 they gonna miss.
He ain't no. Denzel gonna miss at the most. Listen to me.
3?
1 game this year. That's it. Just one.
Wow. Book it.
He gonna miss
Book
just
that.
1 game this year. I'm saying,
Boy.
we gonna nip this in the bud.
See,
I ain't telling you he gonna play all 17. He gonna miss maybe 1 this year.
And can I? And I want to do a 1A because this has never happened. The Cleveland Browns have been playing with a cheat code their whole entire career for about the last 7 years.
Miles?
And that cheat code is Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
I ain't seen the Browns. Remember, go back and watch when they had Paul Kruger. You
ain't got to go back that far.
And Jabal Sheard trying to get manufacture pressure.
You ain't got to go back that far, G. Go back to 2 years ago against the Atlanta Falcons. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right. Wow. They just decided they wanted to get disrespectful with it. Can you imagine? They've always lined up defensively and said, we got one guy you have nothing for.
Yeah.
We can rush 4. We can do whatever we want in the back end. We got extra time back here. The quarterback got to throw the football. If Myles Garrett go down.
No, you're right. I almost put Miles in like that quarterback. I didn't even really consider him because it's so obvious. But you're 1,000% right.
I considered him. I really did. And I was going to go with that answer. But for some odd reason, Alex Wright did a lot. He showed me something. And Double O showed me something. So I'm like, you know.
I don't want to see that.
Well, let me ask
I
you
don't want to see it either, but I'd be more okay that production can still be had there than if them tackles go down. I don't care what
You'd rather lose Miles than Jed Wills.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, you saying
No, that's not. No.
Hey.
No, what I'm saying is if Miles goes down,
Yeah.
I still have faith that Double O,
Yeah.
Alex Wright, Zadarius can do something.
Right.
If Jed and DeJuan go down, it's not happening again. I don't see it.
So you're saying they can withstand losing Miles?
If you want to frame it that way, that's not what I said. But if that's what you want to frame it, fine.
Let me ask you guys this: you gave four good answers. Which of these units, and I'm going to read out these units in a sec, is like the most? Oh crap, we're not good enough. If this were to happen. The D-line without Miles, particularly the edge rushers. The secondary right now without Denzel. The offensive line, if you're taking Jed Wills out of it. Or the receiver room without Amari Cooper. Like, which one do you have the biggest concern about?
The receivers. I would say the receivers.
I mean, are you assuming that Greg Newsome is playing?
Yes.
It's for week 1. No, we're getting into week 1, so Newsome's a question mark for this.
Yeah, like if you telling me you gonna miss Newsome and Emerson and you playing CD Lamb, you're out of here.
See, but the thing is, you can cover up that. Martin, you want to get paid this year? Denzel's out and New's out. All right, Martin, you got that assignment. You got CD Lamb this game. And guess what?
That ain't ending well.
Guess what? No. Guess what? Your pass rushers, Myles Garrett's still down there. Myles know that they ain't there, so guess what Myles gonna do? He gonna sell out.
In the words,
so you might get saved.
In the words of the great.
I'm just telling you.
In the words,
because what's the tackle that's gone? Tyron Smith. He gone.
Earl, if you're in there where listening to this, cover your ears. But speed ain't Martin Emerson's game.
No,
that ain't his thing.
No, it's not. But you don't think he go up against speedy receivers?
You gonna man him on CD Lamb?
Yeah. You know why? I need to know what I got. I'm about to pay him.
CD plays from the slot a lot too, which I'm not sure makes a difference in how you're finagling alignment from the defensive backs.
You
But
want
CD got a lot of snaps in the slot.
do you want 50 million or do you want 100+ million? Because those 100+ million, guess what they do? Hey, I don't care where he at. I don't care where he at. Get him.
He's worth $100 million only if his boy is there.
Well, we need to know what we got.
It's like no.
We need to know what we got. That's sad because I actually got faith in him. I got faith that he can actually get it done.
That's like you trying to go on a date.
I'm gonna tell you why he gonna get it done. You got a good D-line. You don't gotta cover that long.
Man.
And you got safeties behind you.
Yeah, like the game. It's not like the game plan gonna be we gonna man him. If MJ Emerson is the only covered corner we got, they not about to be like, okay, we just gonna leave you dry. Like that's not gonna be the case. We're gonna have a safety hover right over you just in case. We need you to take all underneath away. If it goes deep, your safety gonna be standing right there. Everybody else, y'all better figure it out. Man. We taking out their best player. We got 4 eyes on one guy. The other ones, y'all better figure it out. Y'all need to cover that long. Miles gonna get there.
Hey, yeah.
But back to Mike's original question. The
It's the receivers.
It's Miles.
No, it's the receivers.
The reigning defensive player.
It's the receivers.
And that's where I started with. But I almost eliminated Miles. I put him in that quarterback conversation. If it was too obvious. The answer is Miles.
If Myles Garrett was not playing, he's good enough to take 3 to 4 wins away. So if you was winning 11 games, now you automatically looking at 7 to 8.
I don't know if he's worth. I think a quarterback's worth 4. I don't know if Miles is worth. He's worth 1 to 2.
I saw him beat the Colts by himself.
If they tell Amari Cooper ain't playing, y'all gonna really stop and be like.
But here's the thing. That was the original answer. I would have to take that.
If Miles ain't playing, y'all will be like, we still got double O. We got Darius.
But I saw Joe Flacco with Elijah Moore, David Njoku, and Jerome Ford carve up the Jets. And the Jets got a good defense on Thursday.
Amari Cooper was there, wasn't he?
No, I don't think he played in that game. It was Elijah Moore and David Njoku. Can you check that? Can you fact check me? Because I don't remember.
I don't either. He did miss a game, but I don't remember which one it was. It might have been the Jets.
I do not believe I'll double check, but I do not believe he played.
They carved the Jets up with Sauce Gardner.
Who did it? Wait, who?
Elijah Moore.
All right, wait, stop right there. One more time. Who?
Elijah Moore.
Who is?
He did not play. G confirmed.
Thank you.
What was his numbers in that game, Elijah? Just out of curiosity.
He had 5 for 61 and a concussion.
And he had a concussion.
Dang.
So David
Njoku had 134 yards.
David Njoku and Jerome Ford was balling. So I didn't see the Browns manufacture smoke and mirrors with quarterbacks, run the ball 1,000 times, put 3 tight ends in the game and still win, right? But I have not seen them ever come out without Myles Garrett and even be competitive.
Yes, you have.
When?
The last 4 games of the season where he didn't record a sack.
He was on the field though.
So what?
He was there.
So
that
what?
He's still a presence. You still got to put somebody on him. It's like you said.
You right, because I would not single him.
When he didn't play against the Falcons,
they
decided to go to the middle school playbook.
They was chilling.
Let me run.
They was chilling.
Run.
Run. When they seen Miles wasn't playing in that game, they said, "Yeah, we just gonna go ahead and punt this week." Yeah, this game.
That's when when it comes, gentleman's punt came.
Y'all might be right. It's hard to go against what y'all said. Y'all might be right on this one.
If it's one game, you figure it out. If it's an extended absence,
Well, we asked the chat. All good answers. They ended up going with the offensive line as the overwhelming favorite as the position group who cannot afford an injury.
Thank you.
This season. And speaking of the offensive line, that is the premise of our next topic, which is brought to us by LinkedIn. Whether you're hiring for a small business or you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role, that's why you check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help you find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. It helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to finding the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites, so if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. We alluded to the offensive line a second ago, and earlier this week, the 33rd team, mainly Ross Tucker, who's been on this program before, released his offensive line rankings for the upcoming season, and the Cleveland Browns came in at number 3 on the best offensive lines for 2024, according to Ross Tucker of the 33rd team. Your number 5 offensive line, according to Ross Tucker, the Colts. Number 4, the Falcons. The Browns at 3. The Eagles at 2. The Lions at 1. And the question I wanted to ask you guys is the Browns' offense being ranked based off name brand and reputation, or is this unit still legitimately elite, top 3 level, heading into 2024? What say you, G?
I used to say this back in the day. I said, man, in the state of Ohio, here's the way it works, man. If you make all Ohio and you're not a senior, you guaranteed to make all Ohio the rest of the years. It just is what it is because you've already got your name out there. You know what it is, Tyvus. I ain't seen no sophomore that make all Ohio not make it his junior or senior year. This is what it's going to be. Now, not saying that the Browns are living off reputation or the Browns is living off the old work that they put in these streets. I think they got name brand guys that do what they need to do, and they are great at their position, right? Arguably, you got 2 of the best top 10 guards in the league, right? That's very rare. Ethan Pochich is one of the top 10 centers in the league. When DeJuan Jones is thought of very, very highly as what he could possibly do if he could stay from getting injured. And, the wild part about it is there are people, surprisingly, even though sometimes I don't know why, but people are actually high on Jed Wills. They don't think Jed Wills is as bad as is projected, right? And Jed Wills is not a horrible player. Sometimes he just don't play to the whistle. And if you don't play to the whistle, it just makes you look crazy because bad things happen when you don't play all the way and finish plays and finish blocks. But when you look at it, and they got Jack Conklin, who's been an all-pro in this league at some point in time, Pro Bowler, who is a swing tackle that could potentially start for a lot of different people. I like Whippler. I like Zach Zenner. I like their depth. So I can see why they have them at 3. I could have them anywhere from like a 3 to a 6 or a 7. But traditionally, the Browns are a very good running team. And they have, by the way, I even count a little bit with this too. David Njoku is one of the best blocking tight ends in the game. So when you look at their run game and you look at what they have, I don't have a problem with them saying that. The thing with the Cleveland Browns is they're older and they're injury prone. So you can start off at 3, but you could end up with people off the streets too.
How many sacks the Browns give up last year?
Give me 1 sec.
Thank you.
It doesn't feel like it was a ton.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Browns gave up 45 sacks last year, which was 40 less than the Giants, who led the league with 85 sacks allowed. And that ranked 12th in the NFL.
And
that's all the injuries.
And that's
with all the injuries.
With
yeah,
all the injuries. And quarterbacks that run around a lot.
Yeah.
PJ Walker run around. DTR, Deshaun run around. So that's pretty good, I would say.
It's a solid unit. I mean, it's always going to be a solid unit. They ran the ball Pretty decently. I'll forget where did they finish in rush yards last year?
Oh, we had a major blowout on the show over whether or not they were elite.
Oh yeah,
y'all trying to say they were elite.
I forgot about
they weren't even close to
I
elite.
forgot about.
Me and Bo were looking at each other like everyone
Did
here
I say
has
elite?
lost. Oh, you were on the elite.
Did I say I was
you were on the
the
elite?
side? I was
It was-
on the elite.
Actually, I don't know if you were here.
No,
it was Quincy.
Quincy,
and Jay
yeah.
versus you and Bull.
I said they was good. I didn't say they was elite.
Oh, Bull and I were like,
Yeah,
what
that was like
is
elite.
going on?
Elite.
What planet are
Like-
we on?
And
Well,
we-
they were at the time of the argument. They were third in the league in rushing yards per game,
right. That's where it
but
was.
first
That's
in attempts by a mile.
Yeah, right. And you was saying the yards per carry, they run the ball more than anybody, bro. What do you mean they're not elite? 3.7 ain't elite. Like, I remember that conversation.
Oh man.
I felt like I said
Anyway,
No, they were not elite last year at running the ball. Not even close.
anyways, they were productive. They are a very productive group.
Yeah.
When you look at just the guys as a unit, you look at all of them because individually, I think you hit it on the head. You got a lot of top 10 guys that's considered to be in the higher upper half of the league, and you put all of those together. The only question mark is probably your biggest one is your left tackle, and that's the thing. Is he elite? No, not at all. Was he playing well before he got hurt last year? I would say so.
He was trending up.
Yeah, he was trending up.
was
So
trending.
my question, for me, it ultimately comes down to where is he at when it's time to go? Because right now, James Hudson,
No.
it's a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. Not gonna lie.
I'm a lot nervous.
Michael Parsons versus James Hudson.
I'm a lot nervous.
But
James be out here.
it's gonna be a
jumping.
lot. It should be a lot of little tight end chips. Little chips to Joku before you go out there. Give him a nice little help your boy out. But I mean, 3. I mean, I'm fine with 3. It's not. I'm not making the case that they're any higher than that for sure. I think the Colts' offensive line is solid, and I think Atlanta's offensive line is solid as well. I feel like any order for them 3 to 5 is fine with me.
Yeah, I got Detroit overwhelmingly.
Yeah,
number
Detroit
one.
is number 1. It's not even close.
Detroit. Like,
Philadelphia took the hit when Kelsey retired.
Man, I never thought I would say that.
They
but
might not
boy,
even push this year, which should be crazy.
Detroit got dudes that's big and can move, and they be running all kind of different schemes. They be running all. I'm like, what are y'all running up there? They got 2. They physical, like man. But the Browns is in that mix. They in that mix a little bit.
They get stuff done. They move people out the way. They open up gaps and seams. Like they hold up. It ain't like the quarterback getting sacked 100 times a year.
What do y'all think
It's
about?
solid.
What do y'all think about the new offensive line coach? Do you
Andy
think?
Dickerson.
Do you think he's
We'll
been here before?
We'll see.
Do you think it's going to be a different
Yes.
feel? Because Callahan, you know what he brought. And Callahan was a surgeon when he was teaching it up.
You know what though? You know what? Anytime that you replacing somebody like that good, we always is like, I don't know. But as of lately, it hasn't been bad. It's worked out.
Right.
I mean, the only recent I can give you is Terry, Tito, and Stephen Volt. Like, we was like, you replacing Tito? And
Yeah.
Stephen Volt's come in and look, it's I know that's a totally different sport, but I'm saying, like, Bill Callahan is, like, here. And they replaced him with this guy. Well, he left, but whatever the case may be, it might work out. A different voice sometime always does change things, and they might be better. But we got to see, because we give Coach Callahan so much credit because of what he dealt with last year, of all of those injuries, and no matter who was in there, it was still production still being had. Hopefully, Andy Dickerson ain't even in that situation where he's got to be put to that test. We just need his starting 5 to be solid, and we hope that his starting 5 stay healthy for the whole year, which highly unlikely, but if that works out for him and he's got them playing well, that's fine.
The biggest concern I have, I think, with the offensive line is, I would go back to the last conversation about the health. It's the guards. It's Wyatt and Joel being able to stay healthy. They've had a ton of injuries the last couple of years.
I think that's why they drafted Zach Zinter.
Oh, for sure.
Should be like, you need a week off. Don't worry, he could go in there and we can make it through this week.
They really needed to get younger at that guard spot. They needed to get some fresh legs in there, because I mentioned it before, but had the Browns beaten the Texans, I don't think Joel or Wyatt, either one, would have been able to play the following week. They were both so banged up. Joel's had a lot of back issues now coming up, and those don't get better with age. They get worse. So I have major concerns about those guys being able. Wyatt's had a ton of injuries the last couple of years, calf particularly. So can these guys hold up and stay healthy for that long? It's a great unit when they're together. And they have them ranked where they're ranked. That's tops in the AFC. That's the best offensive line in the AFC, according to those rankings. And Ethan Poshik is fine. He took advantage of the opportunity when he got it a couple of years ago and ran with it. I've died a bloody death some weeks on the Jed Wills hill, but I still maintain he's average. He is what he is. He's just an average left tackle, and that's okay. He's not elite. He's not following Joe to the Hall of Fame, but you can do a lot worse, and so you just sort of live with it.
Is he the guy that we could have had Tristan Wirfs instead of him? Is that the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And I say that with
That hurts.
It hurts. It hurts.
Look.
But it wasn't a bust. It's not a bust. I know people are down on Jed at times. It's not a bust pick. It's not.
I ain't saying
You're looking at me like
I just
you see the wild eyes looking at me.
He's like,
all I did was look at you.
Like I'm nuts.
hey, you was blinking so crazy. I'm like, you got something in your eyes? I was like,
Do you think he's a? Does anyone think Jed Wills is a bust? I don't think he's a bust.
what do we consider?
That's a G question.
What do we consider a
G
bust?
is his biggest critic. I don't.
If he would just
Play to the whistle, huh?
because sometimes when you give up sacks and strip sacks, them is highlights. Like if you just stop, they're like, oh my Lord, what are you doing? I don't think he's a bust. Like to me, you say you draft somebody in the top 10, but he was 10th, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you would have drafted him in the top 3, okay, now I got a problem because top 3, I gotta have you balling.
Okay.
You get drafted 10 to 15. Is that really a crazy bust?
A bust to me is he's out of the league after his first contract.
Yeah, like okay, Mekhi Becton,
The dude from the
He's had a
Jets.
ton of injuries.
but he couldn't even get on the field. At least what's the name has been on the field. Like he's been out there. He played well. He played well his rookie year. I would if you got down look back at his rookie. He played well as a rookie year. But here's the thing: if the offensive line plays up to their caliber and they're not injured, you're looking at a team that could be super dangerous. Because if you could think about if you just remember how elite the running game was. Remember how with that year Chubb and
Talking about the 1,500 yards?
Oh, when Chubb and Kareem Hunt was rolling, that offensive line was moving people out the way, bro. I go back and watch that Washington Redskins game, Washington Mariners game, and where Wyatt Teller is pulling and is 25, 30 yards down. He created the buy one, get one free. He was pancaking 2 people at a time. You come get some, now you get some. Your boy got some, now you get this work. Like he was doing that every week, Tyvus. I'm like, who is this monster? He was a beast. Like and like Jason said, he's had a lot of injuries with his calves. And the unintended consequence for running the ball that many times is think of how many times that those core guys put hands on people.
Yeah.
They in the phone booth fighting.
Yeah.
Every game. And they was running it. They was running play action too. So they was putting hands on people twice. Like so if they could get to that and you could get that Chubb back, you get Nick Chubb back in the building, the offense could be stellar. Or we could have guys off the street.
And the one guy we haven't really talked about, I'm really curious to see the progression in DeJuan this year.
Yeah.
Because the physical skills are there. Mm-hmm. It's evident. But I talked about last year about how often Wyatt was in his ear telling him on every play, you got to go here.
Yep.
That has to end. You had an entire offseason now. You have to know your assignments and your responsibilities. So I expect that to be much better. And if that part is better, the overall game should if he could stay healthy, and there's a concern just with the joints because of his size. If he could stay healthy, he could be really, really, really good.
Especially Matt, like the way and believe it or not, his run blocking grades aren't as good as his pass blocking grades.
Oh, he's a terrific pass blocker.
Terrific pass blocker. If he get that nastiness and moving that whole left hand, right hand side down, it'll be special.
Yeah, he's got a chance to be a really, really good player for a really long time if he can stay healthy. We're going to pivot and talk a little guards after a quick word from FanDuel. You guys know I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop, but as the dog days of summer get deeper and deeper, we get fewer and fewer games, and the sports just aren't sportsing like I want them to, but FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open up the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everyone every day all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com/UCSS and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Jason, you and I were on the panel yesterday. G, you were with us, and we all said the Guardians, well, they got to split the doubleheader. And that did not pan out. They lost both games. Man. The losing streak has now extended itself to 5 games as this Minnesota series creeps up over the weekend. We're going to preview the Minnesota series more in-depth tomorrow. I kind of want to focus on what went wrong yesterday.
Man.
But we did not get a great Ben Lively start.
Yeah.
Carrasco did what he could, but it wasn't enough, and it's a disappointing series sweep to the Diamondbacks.
Man, it was so crazy, Jason. I got back to the spot before I could even get there. I'm like, they got smoked quick too.
You talking about the first game?
I'm like, dang, the game over. That's Bleacher Report talking about. Guardians lose game 1. I'm like,
2 hits. Me hit you. You hit the floor.
That was crazy.
It was bad. I looked up. You know how when I see Ben, like I said, oh, for sure they gonna win the first one. I don't know about the second game, but they definitely gonna win the first one. Yeah. And I checked the score. It's like it's 4-0. Talking about some they've been no hit through the first 4 innings. I'm like, oh
yeah.
Then they tried to make some noise at the 5th. I think that's when Josh hit the home run. And I think they ended up scoring 2. So I'm like 4-2. I'm like, all right, we back in this thing.
Nope.
Yeah, it just bam. They gave you that little light, and that was it. It just went straight down from there. They like, we'll catch y'all on the next game, and then the next one was just like.
It's funny because baseball's so unpredictable that we all sat here and said, got to feel good about the first one with Lively, probably lose the second with Carrasco. And I'm sitting here thinking baseball's so wacky, it'll probably be the reverse, and they lose with Lively and win with Carrasco. And again, we don't have power, so I didn't see the game, and I was dealing with the roof and the tree and everything else, but I was trying to follow on my phone. And they lose the first one. I'm like, all right, well, yeah, there you go. They'll come back and win.
That's what I thought.
They lost the second one. It's like, oh, my God. It's 3 games in a loss column to the Twins.
And we was talking about, we made an error. The graphic said they was 3.5 ahead of the Twins. And they were like, oh, it's actually 4. Okay,
the Twins lost yesterday too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so that helped a little bit. But, man,
it's just like that, like, they mind is on Minnesota. Like, you know what? Like, they done forced us into this doubleheader. The ones that matter the most is tomorrow.
By the way, look at Kansas City.
I know. You see that? they won't die. And they is not going to die. Bobby Witt Jr. is not having it.
Are we? And I'm going to ask y'all, are we running out of gas? Because they have to start winning these series and putting some space between these cats, man, because
we thought it was over with.
No, they're not going away.
Yeah.
We see what they're getting. They're getting some sort of production at the plate, and I think it's like, okay, we're counting on that now. But when it comes to these innings, bro, these guys is getting 3 innings, bro. It might as well be 3, 4 and a third.
They really need Alex Cobb and Matthew Boyd to give them a little bit of a lift in the rotation.
He playing this weekend, ain't he?
Cobb's pitching tomorrow, I think, right? Cobb's tomorrow.
Cobb's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Boyd had a very good start in the minor leagues yesterday.
Yeah, he did. I don't care. He's not any good.
Listen, I got to see it. I want him to be like Ben
Okay,
Lyman.
well, when you see it, you come let me know.
Tell
me how it
What
goes.
day is he pitching?
Cobb's tomorrow.
No, Boyd.
He hasn't been called up yet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Listen, I hope he just if he can keep you in the game for 4 innings, that's a win.
You know what? He gonna shock you.
I hope he does.
He gonna come out there and get 6 strikeouts.
Hey, I hope he does.
and I'm gonna look at you like.
But then he's got to do it again 5 days later.
Well, yeah, that might be a concern.
This may sound like a dumb question, but why if you in the bullpen pitching 2 innings every single game? Why does that make you tired?
Give me
You
an
pitch it as
So
hard as you can.
say for instance, I was like, yo, I got 2 guys, right? So I'm always fascinated by pitching rotations. Say your starter can only give you 4 innings, right? But I got 2 guys in the bullpen, right? And I'm gonna throw them every other day. And one guy come in this day and throw 2 innings, and then another guy come in the next day and throw 2 innings, right? Mm-hmm. And these are the guys that I'm gonna rock with no matter what for 2 innings to get me to like the 6th or 7th inning, right? Mm-hmm. Why is it that they're like if you're a bullpen arm, why would your arm get tired?
Well, if you're throwing 2 innings, you're probably throwing 35 pitches,
right.
30, 35, 36, 38 pitches.
Right.
If you're doing that every other day, that's a lot. That's a lot because you're doing. Let's just run the numbers on that. So if you're going to do that every other day, you're going to appear in about 80 games, 81 games if you stay healthy all year. And if you're doing that, and probably, and that's you would lead the league in appearances or be close if you're throwing 80 appearances. And if you're throwing 35 pitches 2 to 3 times a week, that's 70 to 105 pitches. It's a starter. Like that's overtaxing.
So
pitch count matters more than innings.
The innings.
How many pitches does it take you to get through those innings? So you can throw a guy 1 inning, you can burn him 2 days in a row. You can even stretch sometimes to 3 days in a row. They don't ever throw him 4 in a row. If you go 3 days in a row, you're definitely down on that 4th day. And a lot of times they don't like stretching guys even to 3. If you go back-to-back days, a lot of times you're down on the 3rd day. Just because of you're getting up, you're getting hot. That daily use,
right.
You're not throwing every single day. They don't want you throwing every day.
Yeah, that plus you got to warm up and you're ramping it up, and then you got it. That makes sense when you think about it. So yeah, they gotta figure out what's going on with these starting pitchers, man.
They need a lift. They definitely need a lift from Cobb especially. And listen, he very well may get blown up Friday. He hasn't thrown a competitive pitch in 16 months.
Don't say that.
So, but I'm just saying,
it
would be bad timing if it's Friday against the Twins. Obviously, you want him to pitch well. But if he gets blown up, it doesn't mean it's a bad trade. He's not going to help him. It means you just got to be patient, let him round into form a little bit. But I am really curious. I'm high on Cobb. I'm much higher on Cobb than I am Boyd.
When is Gavin pitching again?
This weekend. Saturday?
Yeah, this weekend.
Saturday? Sunday?
It's supposed to be Saturday, correct?
Because he got blown up.
I feel like this with the Twins is, to me, ain't this the most important series that they've had so far?
There's 3 games.
It's 4 games.
It's 4 games. Oh, they can take the league if they sweep
it's
the
a
thing.
makeup doubleheader. The game got rained out earlier, so they're playing a doubleheader on Friday, then Saturday and Sunday.
Oh,
Do they have more with them? They have to see them again in September, don't they?
I will look that up for
it.
you, but I got to get a reading because our guest is here. So I want to make sure I get this next topic in before we bring in our guest of the day. If you guys are looking to get Major League Baseball tickets to a Guardians game when they come back from this road trip, their next home series against the Chicago Cubs, there's no better place to buy those tickets than with the GameTime app. GameTime is a authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Plus, the prices on the GameTime app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. The GameTime app has every feature you could possibly imagine or want from an online ticket buying agency, including priority last-minute deals, flash deals, zone deals, all-in pricing, views from your seat, a lowest price guarantee, and their GameTime ticket coverage. Make sure your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the entire ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Once again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download GameTime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Guys, the American League MVP race right now is heavily favored going to Aaron Judge. He's the significant, prominent betting favorite. But I'm curious if you guys agree that Jose should be getting more MVP buzz than he's gotten at this point. If you look at his numbers and his ranks in the American League right now, he's 5th in home runs. This is Major League Baseball ranks, not just American League. My apologies. He's 5th in home run. 2nd in RBIs, top 20 in OPS, top 25 in batting average. He plays a great third base. He's an elite base runner, and the Guardians have one of the best records in Major League Baseball. But if you look at the MVP odds, and Steve, if you want to take the next graphic with these MVP odds, check out how far down the MVP odds he is according to FanDuel. Aaron Judge, like I said, the prohibited betting favorite. Bobby Witt, 5-1. Gunnar Henderson, 24-1. Juan Soto, 48-1. And Jose at 130-1. I'm not saying he's going to win the MVP, but shouldn't he be getting some more MVP buzz considering the terrific season that Jose's had up to this point?
They're 4 games ahead of the Royals, so how is Bobby Witt that much farther? That doesn't. And Bobby Witt's a fantastic player.
Bobby Witt having
He's
a
fantastic.
year.
He is, and he deserves to be in that conversation, but not that much higher than Jose, who's the best player on the team that's been at the top of the American League almost all year long.
I mean, I don't think any of them should be that far ahead. Like, that is a big gap there. But
I mean, Judge is
I got them two. The top 2 is my top 2 leaders for MVP.
Judge is going to win it. He should win it.
I mean,
He's had an unbelievable year.
Here's what you got to do, man. See, the Guardians and Jose Ramirez is a victim of not sometime saying what you need to say. Sometimes you got to pop out and show people.
Certified boogeyman. I'm the one that up the score with him.
You have to tell people, hey, by the way, I've been getting snubbed for about 35 years now. By the way, I'm one of the best players in the league if you haven't found out. And by the way, if the Guardians want him to get the MVP, they're supposed to be like, look, we feel like Jose Ramirez is a top 3 MVP candidate every single year. We respect Judge. We respect Bobby Witt Jr. We respect all these other guys. But let me just tell you about how special Jose is. And they need to have the propaganda. See, you're never going to beat Judge. Aaron Judge got a code name. His name is Aaron Judge. He's 6'6". He hits home runs, and he plays outfield.
And he plays in New York.
You're not winning that. You're not going to win that battle. But you can start a grassroots effort to get Jose Ramirez some votes for next year, this year. Here's how it starts. You just have a grievance. This is a grievance culture. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. Hey, look, man, Jose is getting snubbed. We respect all those guys. We got the best record in baseball. We got a rookie. We got a bunch of rookies playing, a rookie head coach, and look what he's doing leading our team. They ain't going to give it to you this year, but next year, you already start off and put the pressure on them to be like, yo, listen, if Jose don't get no MVP this year, we know something.
Well, baseball is such a fluky sport year to year. You never know if he's going to have the numbers to support it. Mm-hmm. I think Jose hurts himself by not talking more. He needs to talk more in the media.
Yep.
He never talks. He never does interviews. He plays in a small market, and he never talks. You never hear from him. It's a bad combination when you're trying to win league awards like this. Mm-hmm. So he could do and this may not matter to him. Maybe he didn't care. I don't know. I don't know him that well because he didn't talk. Mm-hmm. But if he wants MVP, if the Guardians want to push him for that, they need to push him out, put him in front of cameras more often. You're already battling the market that you're in. It is a small market town. But you can overcome that with terrific play and if you put yourself out there. If you don't talk, they talk for you. And he never talks. So I do think that hurts him sometimes.
Does he have a translator?
Yeah, we talked about that before. We laughed about that. He can speak perfectly fine English.
He just don't.
But he uses a translator.
One of those guys that
he
just
uses
don't
a
like
translator.
I just want to see him and go, hello.
that was creepy, bro.
Hello.
Yeah, his English is fine.
What's up? Let me see what you say.
But you never see him on camera. You never see him talking. You never see him quoted. You never see him in clips.
Yeah, you do. He said he better than Barry Bonds.
That was what, 3 months ago? 4 months ago?
He said that's.
And said nothing. That's my point.
Right, you got to follow up with that. You got to have a follow up question. You have to have you got to. And some people, like you said, maybe he doesn't care about it. Maybe we care about it and he don't.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if he seems like a different guy. I mean, he took $100 million left to hang out. Like
because he wants to be left alone. He wants to be in Cleveland, live his life, and be left alone.
He wants his money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to chill and swing the baseball bat.
How often do you hear from Aaron Judge? How often do you hear from Juan Soto? How often do you hear from Bobby Witt? How often do you hear from
Juan Soto was doing an interview live game and caught a fly ball while doing the interview.
Yeah, I mean that's an extreme, but but they're out there. You hear from them. That matters. And whether or not you like it or not, you could say it shouldn't make a difference. It does. It makes a difference, particularly with the voters. Like, I just think he needs to put himself out there more. If that's where it pays off and stuff like this.
Because there's no way, if you look at the numbers, he should be 130.
Absolutely not.
Odds. Now, granted, these are odds the sports book set it at a particular thing because they know they have to get people to either be in or out on it. But those are ridiculous considering the numbers he has, where it ranks in Major League Baseball. Top 5 in homers, second in RBIs, both behind Aaron Judge, who will win the award. But it is just absurd, the level of, I don't even want to call it disrespect because it's a sports book trying to engage people to actually vote, but there's no way he's the 5th favorite with the season he's having. I just refuse to believe that.
I can give you another example of what I was talking about. When Francisco Lindor was here, it was widely assumed Lindor was the best player on the team. Jose was down here somewhere. You heard Lindor did interviews all the time. Francisco talked all the time. All the time. He was always out there. And there's this, when you hear from them, there's this perception that, and was he really that much better than Jose? He had one fabulous year here. I don't know if he was really that much better of a player than Lindor.
I always
overall.
liked Jose over Frankie.
I think you were in the minority. A lot of
I
people,
know I was.
Yeah, a lot of
year,
people.
I think it was the year, maybe the year before he left or 2 years before he left. I was sitting there and I was watching. I'm like, Jose, I like Jose better than him.
Yeah. Lindor played a more premier position, but we're going to look back on that in 10, 15, 20 years from now and go, can you remember when they had both of those dudes out there?
Man, I still do it right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
Lindor's secretly gotten crazy hot the last couple
Yeah,
of months. He's having
he
a
has.
really, really, really good second
Yep.
half of the season. Or not second half, but since May, essentially. He's been on fire.
Ever
for the
since he
Mets.
came there and he was looking at pitches.
Ever since I talked about switch hitting,
Right.
which it finally ran yesterday. It finally ran.
He got that money
The
off.
story I was working on literally in February at spring training finally ran in August. And I didn't even know. Like Zach Meisel texted me during the show. They told me the story, and I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I didn't even pay attention to it.
I gave it a blind retweet. Didn't even read it.
It was sitting.
Nah.
It was sitting on the desk.
It's a go if you like baseball and you like switch
I
hitting.
seen Nicole Auerbach left the Athletic.
I didn't even know about that.
I didn't even know she was at the Athletic.
She's been at the Athletic for years.
I didn't know that. Every time I seen it was at the Big Ten.
Oh, she probably covered you. Oh yeah, Big Ten Network. Right?
Yeah.
And I think she was at USA Today when you played, maybe.
Yeah, I think she was.
Yeah, it was a big loss for us. She's really good.
Yeah, I know.
Last thing on Jose, then we're going to bring in Tyler Gilliam, the coach of the Savannah Bananas. He's been getting hot lately. The homer numbers have gone up. Hit another one against Arizona. Any reason to believe we'll see some sort of last month and a half of the season slow down from Jose, or do you actually think he's hitting the peak of his offensive production this year?
He better. We need
about to
every last home run we can get from him. We need all that.
That man was on fire. He like the only person that like guaranteed to hit one. If the pitching ain't great, put him down for a home run on FanDuel. He gonna get it every time. Every time he gonna come through.
Jason, any reason to believe he'll slow down?
No, I don't think so. No,
You want some parlays?
he better not.
I didn't bet it.
He better not. You got 2 minutes to go.
All right, well, let's bring in our next guest here, guys. Really our first guest of the day after a quick word from LinkedIn. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help you find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job, but might be open to the perfect role in any given month. Over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites, so if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. That is linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. And with that, we are thrilled to have Tyler Gilliam, the head coach of the Savannah Bananas, joining us in studio ahead of their game this Saturday in Cleveland. Coach, how you doing today?
What's up, man? Living the dream. This place is unbelievable. Thank you guys for having me today.
Of course.
Congrats, man. Listen, I saw y'all. I know y'all made it. When I turned the channel, they said, coming up next, Savannah with Bananas. Right here on ESPN. I said, they done made it. Like, it's like the thing, like, I'm like, y'all really jumping off now. Like, y'all, how does that feel to like go from where you guys, because you took the world by storm, to go from that to like literally the world knows about what you guys are doing?
Yeah, we literally say we're living the dream right now. We're riding this rocket ship, and it's all about bringing people together with Banana Ball and creating happiness and joy for everybody. And you guys know as sports people, you go to these sporting events and you're trying to connect with your favorite players. You're getting their autographs, they're taking pictures, but you're a part of the show because with our fan catch out in the game, it changes the game with them being a part of it.
That is awesome.
It's so much fun.
Explain what that is for people who don't know, because that is awesome.
Yeah, so in 2018, we created the Banana Ball rules because we wanted to create the best things of baseball and entertainment together and collaborate those things. And so one of those things was, how do we get the fans involved? Because our business name is Fans First Entertainment. Everything we do is fans first. So the fan catch out is what we came up with. So we have this fan catch out that last week when we were in Louisville, we actually ended a game with a fan catching a ball in the game.
Foul ball.
Yeah, foul ball down the left field line. He caught the ball, little kid, and he brought the ball on the field. He celebrated with us on the field. It's amazing.
So a fan who catches the ball in the stands gets an out.
Yeah, so think about this. You got all the little kids that show up and they've got ball gloves on, but all you guys that are your age, you guys are showing up with gloves too, trying to dive. So right now in Cleveland, we have our first ever Banana Ball tournament going on, okay? We're playing by these rules. There is dads this morning diving on concrete and gravel trying to get an 8-year-old's foul ball catch for an out. It's hilarious.
That's
awesome.
So how did y'all come up with some of the stunts, like the guy on stilts, all of these things? Like what? How did y'all sit down and be like, you know what? Let's try that. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. That was the first quote that I heard from our owner, Jesse Cole, when I interviewed with him. He said, hey, I want to create the greatest show in sports, and one of the things that we do that's different than everybody else is whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. So one of those things that we started testing was our dancing first base coach. So we had a dancing first base coach in 2017, right? And we have this big grandstand down our right field line at Grayson Stadium, and we sent Darius out. He was our first dancing first base coach. He starts doing all these backflips and all these moves in the first base box, and all the cameras started going up, and people were like, hey, I really like this. I might not love baseball, but now we're attracting this different type of fan to the game of baseball. So that was the first test of doing something different on the baseball field.
Have you tried anything that you thought, that's even too crazy for us, we can't do that again?
Oh yeah, you guys watching Practical Jokers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in 2020 when COVID hit, we were one of the only summer collegiate baseball teams playing in the country, and so we had 3 pitchers down the right field line in the bullpen with the right fielder mic'd up, and we had him doing all kinds of crazy stuff in right field. So they were telling him what to do. The fans had no idea what was happening. So I look up, I'm coaching, and I look up, and our right fielder is leaning on the wall. He's got his forehead on the wall, and I'm like, what is happening? A pitch is being made, and I'm like, please don't hit it to right field. Right? He comes crawling in at the end of the inning. They told him to be like a dog, and so like he crawls all the way in. Everybody's like, what's going on? So some of these things we test, they work. Some of them don't, but we're not scared to test anything, just like everybody else in any other business. So you gotta really test a bunch of things, and then you got to figure out how to plus it, and that's one of our principles is plus everything that we do.
How do you, so, you know, you guys got guys that can actually play.
Yeah.
How do you find guys that can play, but can dance, that can sing, that can do choreography, that are funny? How do you find these people? Like, are you having an open tryouts?
Yeah.
This is like a talent show.
Yeah, so originally we did have some open tryouts on our first world tour when we went to Mobile, Alabama. The first time we ever took the show on the road, we had this open cattle call workout, and so that's where we actually found Stilts. Stilts showed up and said, hey, I've got my stilts over here in the car. You think we can go grab them? And they're like, yep, get out there and see what you can do, right? So that was one way of doing it, but we recruit just like any other major league, minor league, indie ball team does. But the thing is, like, as you guys know, when you have some of the best players that are outgoing and they're confident, they also have a personality too. So when the camera's on them, they know it's on them and they have fun. And we've just created this environment so they can have fun, because we want to have fun in everything we do. And celebrating is a big part of fun. You know that in football.
Oh, absolutely.
Baseball, they try to it's the hard, in my opinion, it's the hardest game in sports. You're trying to hit a round ball with a round bat, but don't celebrate.
Don't you say nothing.
Don't you do anything. But football and basketball, they're celebrating, and I think the youth is following that because it's fun, and that's what we're doing with our Banana Ball Youth Tournament right now. They're having fun.
Has it ever been a time where you've had a player on your team but they wanted to go maybe to the minors, and you had to try to worry about keeping them here?
Yeah, so we started as a summer collegiate team in 2016, okay? And so as we developed Banana Ball, we were still playing summer baseball. So what a lot of people don't know, they see all the videos of us dancing, but they don't know how good we were on the field. Mm-hmm. We had 40 guys drafted in those time frames, so that 6-year period, we had 40 guys drafted in the minor leagues, okay? We had 5 of those guys that have made the major leagues, so like Cade Marlowe, he's up in the big leagues with the Seattle Mariners right now. He played with us in 2018 and 19. And so we had a bunch of these guys that joined in the original entertainment of dancing on the field, right? Yeah. Then we went into Banana Ball, right? So now it's more of a pro feel. And so the question I get a lot is, are these guys trying to go to Major League Baseball now? And the guys that we have now, they've went through that path and they realized, hey, I'm into Banana Ball now, or we're taking these guys that are just out of college. Like we have a kid named Kyle Jackson who just finished at Kent State. He was the shortstop at Kent State this past year, and in his exit meeting, he told his coaches, hey, I'm going to call the Bananas. I want to go play Banana Ball, and this kid's going to be electric. He is literally going to be a star in the next couple years as Banana Ball grows. And so I'll give you this example. We had a kid named Zach Phillips, okay, played at Ole Miss, left-handed pitcher, got drafted by the Royals, made it up to Double-A, and got released, okay? We picked him up. He ended up coming to pitch for us, fell in love with Banana Ball, played the entire year with us last year, and at the end of the year he said, you know what, thank you guys for creating a game that this was my dream, but I didn't realize it because this wasn't created when I was 10 years old. Last year he got 2 offers to go back to minor league baseball, and he turned those down to stay with Banana Ball because he sees the future of this thing.
No kidding.
McNuggets, you got a question?
Yeah, Coach, has Major League Baseball embraced what you guys are doing? How's that, I don't want to say collaboration, but how's that relationship?
Yeah, it's been great. They've been phenomenal. The whole thing is we're just trying to bring more people to the game of baseball, right? And so it's been great. We're playing in 6 major league stadiums this year. We've got Cleveland this weekend. We've got Philly coming up, and then we'll finish in Miami. But we've got tons of former major league guys that are jumping on board, and they'll play with us in certain cities. We'll have a couple guests this weekend. That's on the hush-hush, But we've got we played the MLB alumni team 3 times last year. So guys that just retired, they played against us. And the thing I say about this, because I'm a true baseball guy, and a lot of traditional baseball guys are like, I don't know about this thing, because all they see is dancing on social media, right? And you're like, I don't know. But once they show up to the game, they see their kids, they see the family, they see the players are really good. Like Tim Kirchin said to us last year in West Palm, if the baseball's not good, this doesn't work. And we've got some of the guys doing some of the most incredible trick plays on the field. Yeah. So the real baseball dudes show up and they go like, hey, these guys can really play.
Well, that's what I was like, how much, as a coach, how much are you trying to win?
Yeah, this thing's competitive. We want this thing to continue to be competitive. All the guys that we have are true competitive dudes. They played at high D1. They played in the minor leagues, major leagues. When I initially interviewed with Jesse Cole, he said, I want to create the greatest show in sports. And my comment back to him was, I want to develop and dogpile, double Ds. So I want to develop players and men, and I want to dogpile at the end of the year. I said, can we collaborate and create something that is unique? So we continue to build this thing, and Banana Ball's taken off with the entertainment side, but as we continue adding teams, we've got some things that are going to come up in the future, but it's definitely competitive, and these guys want to win at the end of the day.
You keep talking about leagues and adding teams, so where is this going?
Yeah, to the moon, baby. To the moon. That's where we're going.
Are you adding more teams in more cities, or is this just going to be a bigger tour?
Great question. So everything's under Fans First Entertainment right now because we want to control the experience for the fan. We want everything to be fans first. So it kind of looks like a minor league system right now where we have all coaches and players. We all train together, live together, eat together, travel together. Like coming here, we travel with about 200 people. We travel with 2 teams, the Bananas and the Party Animals. We just created our new team, the Firefighters. We'll have some more teams coming down next year too as well. So we're continuing to grow this thing. We want this thing to be competitive where everybody, just like you guys, are watching the major leagues, minor leagues, and you're talking about bets and throwing down bets. We want this to be competitive, and we want a championship at the end of the year. So we're growing towards that.
Along those lines, you guys just signed a deal with TNT Sports, right?
Yeah, that just happened actually yesterday. That came out. So
Dang,
we're
you
testing
on it.
some new things. The cool thing is this: as we're growing, we're not scared to test things. So we put in a bunch of money into our own broadcasting, and we developed our own broadcasting crew. So when we travel to all these cities, we've got an 18-wheeler that travels with all of our media team, all of our broadcasting team. We bring all of our own cameras because we're trying to like really create this in-house.
How do you? So you're growing, right? And how do you scale this to a point where you can keep like player costs under control, right? Like for me, it would be like you see this thing going. It's like watching WWE, right? Like
Yes.
this is WWE, like, and so as you're continuing to grow, obviously revenue grow, obviously these things grow. But you guys seem like a grassroots, close group knit of people. How do you plan on keeping the wages from going out crazy and guys being like, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, the main thing is taking care of people. The culture is the most important thing. And so our owners, Jesse and Emily Cole, are the grassroots of all of that, of taking care of people. And I've watched it, when I took over in 2018, we only had 12 full-time people. Now we have 80 full-time people in the front office. And then we have two teams of players, so almost 50 players that are on full-time contracts. So our contracts right now are 12-month contracts with our players, which nobody else is doing that in minor league baseball or in indie ball. So, as a baseball guy, the thing in the past everybody would talk about is like, hey, I got to go get a job in the off season. Well, we wanted to get rid of that and say, hey, let's get these guys on 12-month contracts. Let's get them paid every 2 weeks, so they don't have to worry about that. So they can focus on building fans, because our goal right now is to build to 1 billion fans. And how do you do that? You focus on banana ball and how good the game is, and you focus on connecting with fans. And so one of the things that helps our guys out is we want our guys to grow their social media brand. Nobody else is really doing that. Major League Baseball is not necessarily doing that either, where we're telling our guys,
baseball's terrible.
we're telling our guys, hey, we've got content teams at practice every day going, hey, what are the ideas? All right, let's film those ideas, and let's figure out how to edit that on TikTok or social media, Instagram, whatever it is, and let's put that out and make it look really, really good so we can connect with our fans and build that next generation of fans,
Bill, where y'all? Do you know where y'all currently at as far as fans? Because right now you can't buy a ticket there. You got to know somebody to get
You
to
need
us.
to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody
I'm
to
telling
even
you.
get a chance
I
to
got
sniff a
secrets.
ticket.
Saturday sold out, right?
I
Saturday
did
sold out.
get a chance to see y'all in Columbus at Huntington Park.
Yeah.
But I knew somebody that knew somebody, so that's how I was able to get in there.
So right now we have 2.5 million people on our wait list to get tickets, right? So
Say that
all
one
this
more
started
time.
grassroots.
Drop that. Drop that again.
Say that one
You
more
said
time
it
for the
too
people in the
fast.
You
back.
said it way
You
too
said
fast.
it too fast. Say it one more time.
We got 2.5 million people on our wait list to get tickets. But we're trying to grow towards all those fans, like the
The
Uber.
Yankees don't have 2.5 million people waiting to get
Celtics
tickets.
don't. What are you talking about? That's crazy. So when you say you're on the waiting list, so every game sold out.
Yeah, every
All
game's
of them.
already sold out. Yeah, every game's already sold out right now. So how it works, we have an awesome group called the K Club. So that's our first, like our number one group of fans. And so I would highly recommend, if you want to get tickets next year, they get the first dibs at tickets in K Club, and then everybody else signs up for a specific city and they go into a lottery list. Wow. Okay, so like every lottery list has about 200,000 people in one city, and then it's a lottery. If your name gets drawn, then you can get tickets, right? And so that's how we had to do it with this unbelievable demand that we've had over these last 2 years. It's just like escalated, but it all goes back to the fan. Creating the ultimate customer service experience where fans walk away and they say, you know what, I'll never forget that this happened at a game. And there's this connection between player and fan that you really don't get in really any other sport.
Are you past, because you guys played at Canal Park too, right? Or is it, I don't know what it's called now, in Akron. You guys played in
Yeah,
Akron, you played
last
in
year.
Columbus. Now you're on to Cleveland. I know you're in like another 5 or 6 major league stadiums this year. Have you grown out of minor leagues to where this is only going to be major league stadiums from here on out?
Yeah, definitely. We're having those conversations because, when you get 2.5 million people on the wait list to get tickets, everybody's like, man, I want to come. And so we want those fans to come see us and come have fun with us, right? So we're working towards that. But the minor league stadiums are awesome too. We're thinking outside of the box. We're whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. So we're trying to really focus on getting all of those fans to games next year.
We've got a really shitty stadium at the end of the street here that's knocked down, but it holds 70,000. And they used to play baseball there. So if you want to try something, go play on a football field and bring 70,000 in.
We're willing to talk. There's some things that might be happening in the future. You never know what's going to happen with the Bananas.
This dude already got it all mapped out. He got it already mapped out. He's looking at us, you suckers. We got all the moves.
We were there a year ago. You're a year behind us.
I love
Big
it.
Nuggets, you got a question?
Yeah, so Tyler now coaches the Savannah Bananas. Before that, he was also I don't want to say what you're doing now is not legit, but you coached college baseball beforehand.
Yeah.
Where it was regular baseball rules, traditional. If a fan catches a foul ball, it's just a foul ball. It's not an out.
That's
so
great.
you clearly have an eye for talent. Is that fair to say, Coach, that you can see a guy and know if he's a baseball player or not?
Yeah, I would like to say that. Yeah, I've coached about almost 100 guys that have been drafted into minor league, major league baseball, and so I think with that is good players are good players, whether it's baseball or it's regular banana ball. But you're trying to put on the best show as possible. When it was just baseball, the focus and the mission was to dogpile at the end of the year. Now the focus is to be really good on the field, but also put on the best show possible. And so we're finding some of the best players that also do entertainment on the field.
Speaking of being
Well,
six
that's a great
moves ahead,
question,
I know
yeah.
exactly where Mike's going with
Yeah,
this.
so, Coach, so we just established baseline that you can look at someone and know if they can play baseball or not.
Yeah.
Do me a favor and look directly to your left. Can that man play baseball?
Yeah, can you run, jump, do a backflip, throw hard? I think he can. He looks like it. I tell you what, the guy's a stud right here. So
Thank you.
Let's see if we can get him in a uniform in the future. Huh?
Oh,
you.
wait.
We have next Friday, Coach. We
you.
actually are going to Progressive Field after you, and we are going to have a Tyvis Powell versus Jay Crawford, who's the main host of this show, who did pitch in the minor leagues. A little older now. A pitcher hitter. Tyvis says he's going to take him deep. Tyvis played football at the NFL level.
Yep.
I saw him play softball. I would not call that a professional level of the caliber of play I witnessed.
Hey.
But we are going to see for
Hey.
in person on camera next Friday, and I cannot wait for that to happen.
You need to cut that out because you talking about something that happened last year. This year, 2 for 3, double, single, made my routine fly, catch. Like, it was nothing to me. It is what it is.
we need some backflip
The problem is
We didn't see that.
they're mad at
We never
me
saw that.
because I'm still at my athletic peak. And
you are
theirs
not.
is past. It's over. It's nothing I can't do. To this day. And Jay, I'm sorry to tell you, it's done. Like, next Friday, you're done. Like, I'm telling you right now, when I hit you over the fence, I don't want to hear. Don't even talk baseball to me ever again. Like, it's nothing to say to me ever again. I want you to sign my bat. I'm going to go get the ball out the stands, and I want you to sign that as well. That's it. Thank you.
Enough of that. When does the schedule for next year come out?
October 3rd.
October.
Yeah, so we're going to announce that October 3rd. It's gonna be awesome. There's going to be some fireworks with that for sure.
Do you plan on coming back to Ohio?
To be determined. So we've got 2 people that really work on our overall schedule. I don't work on the overall schedule. I throw some things in there, but for the most part, it's Jesse, our owner, and we got a guy named Patrick, the World Tour. So
I'm just curious. I assume that they could find tickets on StubHub. It's long sold out. Could you go to StubHub and get tickets? How much are tickets to get into you guys if you have to scalp them, if you have to go to another source? How much are people paying to come in?
So what we tried to do in 2016 was create our own ticket platform because we don't have fees and taxes with any of our tickets. So as you guys know, when you go get tickets, you're going to have fees and taxes with it, and fans don't like that. And so we've tried to get rid of that, so we don't offer those at all. And so, yeah, it's happened. Literally, there's been tickets up to $1,000, but we don't want that for families. So we're trying to work on creating a system where families can come at a most regional price. Right now, minor league stadiums, our tickets are $35, and then in the major league stadiums, they're $40 and $60. So they're very reasonable. And if you come to a game in Savannah, which I got to have you guys down, it's all you can eat with your general admission ticket for $35. It's the best
We're in.
family
Sold.
experience.
Sold.
Come on, boys.
So says this guy.
We could do a live show beforehand
Hey,
with all
come
the
on.
guys. Help expand their social media and reach.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. Have you ever thought about doing this thing like in Japan? Like I think them markets would go crazy for this. They sit in them like they don't got this. Like Japan, like I'm talking like South Korea. Like there's a lot of baseball markets that people would eat that up.
No doubt, yeah. So we had a player last year that came over and played with us in California named Kenshi. He's a minor league player over there, big on YouTube, and great guy, had fun with us. So we've been trying to figure out that international piece as we move forward, but I think our main focus right now is let's dominate the U.S. Let's see if we can go to all 50 states. Let's see if we can go to Canada, Mexico, and then we'll just build from there. So the real focus is like, let's just really dominate the U.S. right now.
Do you get the Globetrotters of baseball? Like, is that fair or is that not accurate?
Well, I guess it's fair because there's not another comparison that probably aligns with us as much, but I think we do all kinds of different things. Like we get compared to Disney a lot, we get compared to WWE a lot, we get compared to like Mr. Beast or John Boy because we do all these multiple things, right? But the Globetrotter comparison is the Globetrotters always won. When they played the Generals, the Generals never won the games.
Right.
We don't want that. So last tour, we created the Bananas and the Party Animals, put both of those teams together so it was competitive on both sides. And actually, the Party Animals won more games than the Bananas did last year on tour by one game.
Oh, wow.
So it was competitive, and we were beating up on each other because we want to grow that Party Animals brand too. And there's a ton of people that love that Party Animals brand.
When I went to the game in Columbus, I think they ended up winning. The Party Animals ended up winning.
Where can I'm a fitted hat junkie. Where can I get a Bananas fitted? And I need a Party Animals fitted. And I need that new team y'all got too. I need all those. Where can I find those?
What's the new team?
Yeah, the Firefighters.
Where can I get them somewhere?
Yeah, the SavannahBananas.com. We've got our merch store on the website. It's all free shipping too as well because that's fans first, and we pay for the taxes as well. So go on there, check that out. And then if you're here in Cleveland, guess what? We're going to have all those merch stands set up around the stadium on Friday and Saturday for you guys to go buy some merch.
I'm on the merch site right now, Tyler. The Party Animals and Firefighters logos are elite. Like elite logos. Elite. I may cop all three. Just G. Bush, you're gonna buy 3 of each. You're gonna buy 9 hats this weekend.
Listen,
I love that.
Listen, I bought 3 hats last night. They had nothing to do with the Bananas, but I'm gonna get these ones though.
I could sit here talking all day about this. I'm curious about like the silly stuff. Like, is it the same guys on the Bananas and the same guys on Party Animals, or do they mix up the teams?
No, so we want to make sure fans start buying into players, right? And so we don't mix and match teams. All of these guys are highly competitive, but they don't cross over, I guess you could say. Yeah, that question gets asked a lot. But the silliness piece of it, how it works, and there's a lot of questions with it, is how do you come up with these ideas? Ideas are everything, right? And so everybody in our organization comes up with ideas. We call those idea paloozas. So those happen usually on Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, we'll have team meetings, we'll have entertainment meetings, we'll have entire organizational meetings on ideas, and then we start putting those in play on Wednesdays. The scripts get built for the weekend on what our entertainment's gonna be. And so the biggest thing where everybody says, is the game scripted like the Globetrotters? Where it's not scripted is the gameplay's real. It's hard to script a home run, right?
Yeah.
Right, but the entertainment of how we celebrate gets scripted a lot. So when we score a run, we know what our run celebration is gonna be. Some of the dances that we do, if it's a second base, and we get a double, like we know what our entertainment's gonna be for that. So that's what gets scripted, and that's what the ideas come from.
How often are you playing? Once a week?
No, we're going to play 1 to 3 times a week, depending on if we're in a minor league or major league stadium. So it's going to be once this weekend because we're in a major league stadium. But last week we were in Louisville and we played 3 games there in Louisville.
You should script like coaches come out and hit.
Oh, we do.
You do?
Yeah.
You be out there?
We play in there. I wear boots in every game because I'm from Oklahoma. My dad was a bull rider.
Yeah.
And so when I was 10 years old, I watched a movie called 8 Seconds about Lane Frost, the best bull rider of all time, right? My dad rodeoed with him in high school. And so at that age, 8 Seconds came out. We went to the movies. Me and my dad are sitting next to each other. Lane Frost passes away in the movie because that's what happened in real life. And I look over and I see my dad crying for the first time ever in my life. And in that moment, I said, I think I'd rather get hit by a baseball than horned by a bull, so I'm just going to play baseball from now on. So that's why I wear boots on the field. But we script in coaches playing. I don't play a ton. I let the dudes do that. But we do have some of the coaches that join in, like Mike Vivacis, the Party Animals head coach. He was a player coach last year. he can really hit some tanks.
Do you guys got people that try to copy the format, but I mean, is there any success in doing that? I mean, because obviously when you do something successful, people, if it's WWE, there was WCW, right? There were just other guys. Do you guys see more of these leagues popping up?
There's some people that try to do it. It's really hard to recreate because we're so ahead of everybody else on the entertainment and the baseball side of it. And
don't try. Stop it. Don't do it. You're wasting your money. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard to recreate. And you got Jesse Cole, who is, man, he's the forerunner of this. He's the visionary of this. He's the dreamer of all of this. This guy's in the trenches every single day. And I think that's what makes him different than any other owner in sports. This dude's really in the trenches, coming up with 10 ideas every single day, pushing everybody to be fans first and leading by example. And then you got his wife, Emily Cole, who's the heart of the Bananas, that's really taking care of everybody every single day and doing all of these things that are, she's still flipping burgers at home and picking up trash at our home stadium. She still does all of these little things because none of that stuff is beneath us. We're still cleaning toilets and making sure the dugout's clean, and none of that's beneath us by any means. We try to leave everything better than we found it and lead by example and lead from the front.
Coach, when this next Friday, when I take Jay Crawford over the fence,
yeah, baby,
we're going to send you the video. Can I use that as my tryout for the Bananas?
Absolutely. We got all of our player submission forms online on our website.
That.
We got tryouts coming up in October, so we want to see you at it.
I'll be there.
I've got a 14-year-old and a 22-year-old who love you guys, love everything that you guys do. So it's fun, man. It's fun.
We got to get them to a game. We got to get them to a game.
Hey, I am not above tickets. You got tickets for Saturday? I will take them. I will be dad of the year. I don't have any power at my house. I got a tree on my roof right now.
For real. He's not lying.
He need to get away. I'm a Make-A-Wish kid. I'm a Make-A-Wish kid right now. I'll take anything.
Well, Tyler, thank you so much for coming in, man. We really, really appreciate it. Make sure, I know tickets are sold out. If somehow you come across tickets, you can check out the Bananas at Progressive Field this Saturday, 7 o'clock, taking on the Party Animals. Tyler, next time you guys are back in Ohio, I hope you come back, stop by, bring some of the players. We'd love to have them in, hang out, have a good time again. But you guys, what you're doing is incredible. It's awesome. It's a blast. And if you're not already tuned into the Savannah Bananas, you are missing out on one of the most fun experiences, not just in person, but on TV you can find around. So thank you again for coming.
Man, love you guys. Appreciate you guys having me. Hey, you guys are the best. I'm telling you, G-Bush, appreciate you, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. That was head coach Tyler Gilliam of the Savannah Bananas. Guys, if you want more Guardians talk outside of what we do in the 2 hours on this show, make sure you check out Bull and Zach tomorrow on the Ultimate Guardian Show, previewing a massive 4-game series coming up with the Minnesota Twins. That will air tomorrow morning. There was an Ultimate Cavs show we aired yesterday, a little coaching adjustments from Kenny Atkinson and what Luke Travers coming back to the National Basketball League means, and more. And speaking of Major League Baseball, guys, Grady Sizemore was just named the interim head coach of the Chicago White Sox, who had fired their head coach previously. So before we get to Super Chats, thoughts on Grady Sizemore?
How you get that off?
I want to know that too.
Didn't see that coming.
Wow.
I didn't even know I didn't even know he was with them.
I didn't either.
I didn't know he was coaching. I thought he was just chilling. Okay, wow. Grady, shout out to Grady.
Hey, he's a great player back in his day before all the injuries.
Hey, man, the ladies love Grady.
But by the way, he's just run into a burning building right now. That is not a place you want to be. And White Sox, anything associated with the White Sox right now.
I mean, you got to get your start somewhere.
Yeah. Do they have interim coach? I didn't. It's very rare to fire baseball coaches in the middle season.
No, it happens.
I feel like I ain't seen it in a while. Maybe it's because we close to it.
They are such a tire fire right now. And
Did they win last night?
They win when you said they were going to.
Oh, well, I knew that. Trust me, I knew that. Did they win last night, though? Because they won 2 in a row, right?
I don't know.
They was winning.
No, they won 1, they lost again.
It was inevitable that he was getting fired. That's been known for
brewing
quite a while.
Right? They've been brewing for a minute.
You having fun drinking out of your wife's Stanley?
She gave it to me. Said she didn't.
Travis drinks out of his wife's mug.
What's wrong with that?
Stanleys are for women.
It keeps your drink cold, that's the thing.
Where's your Lululemon bag? Your little tights.
These is Lululemon. My wife bought me these yesterday.
I actually love Lululemon pants.
I say Lulu's terrific. It's
I
expensive.
can't crack on
expensive.
You know how much these pants was?
outrageous.
Because she got them from Barnes & Noble, the Ohio State bookstore down there, and $150. Just for this little emblem, because of that right there. $150.
Guys, we got some super chats we got to get to.
What?
The first one comes from Armac Dog. And Armac says, I'm a lifelong Browns fan. I've been to Cleveland Municipal, First Energy, and I'm very excited about the new $3 billion Dome Stadium complex. It will be a great reward to the fans if the Browns win a future Super Bowl at home. Bonds.
So you saying when they get the Super Bowl?
I think he means they're going to win it.
They'll get it and play in it that year and win.
Yeah,
That's quite a.
It almost happened, or did it happen in SoFi with the Rams?
It did happen, didn't it?
No, I don't think it did.
They didn't play. They played the Bengals.
I don't remember. I have ADD.
Yeah, they played the Bengals and they won. That was at SoFi because The Rock came out and did the
Yeah.
announcement.
Well,
right?
there's no NFL fans in LA, so it doesn't matter. That
True.
doesn't-
And
that
part
doesn't
of,
count.
Jason, I got to imagine.
Tampa
part
Bay
of
did it with
building the dome.
with Tom Brady.
Oh, did they do it too? Did it happen twice recently?
I thought, didn't it? I swear when Tampa Bay
I'll double
won, it was
check
in
that.
Tampa Bay.
I don't remember.
It might have been.
I have to imagine that part of the handshake agreement of building this dome is you get a Super Bowl for it.
You have
Like
to.
that's part of the whole
Yes.
reason
Yeah,
you do
they'll
this.
get
So,
one.
next super chat comes from our first one was Armac Dog. Our second one is DB Dog 21. So the
Lot
dog
of dogs.
pound in full force. This one from DB Dog 21. G. Bush said it earlier. Mayor Bibb knew this the entire time. He made the offer knowing there was no chance.
I said that.
So not to be looked at.
You want to split that credit, Jason?
The city hated him because it seems
Hey,
like he didn't even try to
I give 50% of that, dog. He get 50. Yeah, go ahead, put that on the books. 50% for Jason Lloyd on that. That
said
prediction.
he knew they were gone. And just make a presentable offer. Make it look good.
As a matter of fact, you said that to Mary Kay.
Well, I told Mary Kay I thought they were posturing when they kept saying the Browns were trying to renovate. I never believed that. They were
Yeah,
actually
I feel
trying to
like
renovate.
all
This
of
has
them
been
knew
the
what it
plan for
was.
years.
They knew what it was.
No, I said this was their Manny Ramirez offer.
Yeah,
I wonder what a visiting team feels when they come to like the Brown Stadium.
Sad.
They don't want to be here. Like,
Cold. That's what they feel. They feel cold.
Like people come in there and be like, "Man, this is trash. Like this is trash."
there are worse out there than
hey
that.
man, go to
That's
the,
how the Raiders used to be.
go to the old Akron Rubber Bowl.
Go to FedEx Forum. That's like literally the
The
stands. are
Raiders.
falling apart.
Listen, when I was with Seattle in 2016 and we played that preseason game with the Raiders, and they still had the baseball field.
Oh, that's like
I was
concrete.
in that locker room like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they got a new stadium in Vegas. It was bad.
raw sewage in the dugouts.
Yeah, it was
Like,
bad.
the dirt was like concrete. That was a bad.
Well, I got one more super chat, and this is an interesting question here. It's back from Armac Dog, who sent us our first super chat of the day. Does the UCSS panel think that Browns fans worldwide would buy, quote, dog bonds to help finance part of the $3 billion dome complex?
Yes.
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 Yeah, of course.
Yes. They would.
They could do a GoFundMe and get this stadium if they want it.
No, for real. No, they probably
Straight up,
could.
GoFundMe. Like I'm.
I
telling
mean,
you.
because there's so
We
many
need $1
people.
billion.
There's
Right.
so many people that's for it.
Like,
yeah.
there are people that watch us in other countries because of their allegiance to Cleveland sports and not only the Browns. These people are in India and Philippines and Russia and Ireland. Like these folks, like my wife got it. I don't know how she got it. She got an email like, "Yeah, look at this new stadium," and she was all excited.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Bro, you don't even be watching it like that. Why you excited about this email?" That's how excited people be about.
If the Browns hire Sally Struthers to say for $1 a
Day
day,
for-
we'll get Deshaun Watson inside, warm him up, he'll
Yep.
throw touchdown passes.
We'll get 2 swaggers. We'll get 2 dogs. two dogs. We gonna
$1 a day feeds Myles
get-
Garrett.
right. Like
Allows Kevin Stefanski to take off the hoodie in the winter
He
time.
lets his beard grow in fuller on the sides.
For $1 a day. They'll have $1 billion by
tomorrow.
September.
Like,
Hey.
and especially if they gave him like little like memorabilia. Here's your seat that we'll send you a seat. But you just put it in your house. It ain't like you get a seat like at the stadium. They just send it to you in the mail. Come on, bro.
The best offseason acquisition the Browns got is Jameis Winston, because this quote that he just gave 30 minutes ago.
Yep, it's terrific.
It's hilarious.
We'll break it down tomorrow on the show. But Travis, you want to give the little snippet, the rhyme he dropped?
Yeah, you can go out and see practice. You can knick-knack, this, that, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. Deshaun Watson is going to turn it on. He is hilarious.
He is a throwback.
He's the best. He's the absolute
He is a
best.
throwback to an old
goodness.
school boxer promoter. Like, shout out to Jameis Winston.
And also, just so you know, Travis, Tyler just texted me and said, I need to see that video next Friday. So he will be watching.
That's cool.
He will be watching.
Did he say anything about my tickets to the game today?
I got no response on the ticket.
Make a
We'll see you
wish.
guys in overtime.
Make a wish about this.